Hello, and welcome to episode 2. Hopefully, you can actually hear me. They are doing construction outside of my hotel room, and I don't know, I might have to actually re record this. I still feel incredibly awkward, so we're still going with the awkward look. Messy, sweaty, not put together. Which, who knows, this might be my actual look. I might not be all dolled up. You might be like one day, wow, she has makeup on. What is she doing today? So here we are on to Esther Chapter 2. I'm going to take a quick drink. This place has me all drinking Pepsi Light. I don't even drink Diet Pop. Apparently I do now. All right, so Esther Chapter 2. Esther made queen. Later, apparently today I'm reading out of the NIV. We switched. I will try not to keep switching on you. Later, when King Xerxes' fury had subsided, he remembered Vashti and what she had done and what he decreed about her. Then the king's personal attendants proposed, "Let a search be made for a beautiful young virgin. I can't talk today. Let's just start over and I'll cut that all out." That was only like one sentence though. Later, when King Xerxes' fury had subsided, he remembered Vashti and what she had done and what he had decreed about her. Then the king's personal attendants proposed, "Let a search be made for beautiful young virgins for the king." Then the king appointed commissioners in every province in his realm to bring all these beautiful young women into the harem at the citadel of Susa. Let them be placed under the care of Haggai, the king's eunuch who is in charge of the women, and let beauty treatments be given to them. Then let the young woman who pleases the king be the queen instead of Vashti. This advice appealed to the king, and he followed it. Now there was in the citadel of Susa a Jew of the tribe of Benjamin named Mordecai, son of Jair, the son of Shimi, the son of Kish, who had been carried into exile from Jerusalem by Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, among those taken captive with Jehoiakim, king of Judah. Mordecai had a cousin named Hadassah, whom he had brought up because she had neither father nor mother. This young woman, who was also known as Esther, had a lovely figure and was beautiful. Mordecai had taken her as his own daughter when her father and mother had died. When the king's order and edict had been proclaimed, many young women were brought to the citadel of Susa and put under the care of Haggai. Esther was taken to the king's palace and entrusted to Haggai, who had charge of the harem. She pleased him and won his favor. Immediately he provided her with beauty treatments and special food. He assigned to her 7 female attendants selected from the king's palace and moved her and her attendants into the best place in the harem. Esther had not revealed her nationality and family background because Mordecai had forbidden her to do so. Every day he walked back and forth near the courtyard of the harem to find out how Esther was and what was happening with her. Before a young woman's turn came to go into King Xerxes, she had to complete 12 months of beauty treatments prescribed for the women, 6 months with oil of myrrh and 6 months with perfumes and cosmetics. And this is how she would go to the king. Anything she wanted was given to her to take with her from the harem to the king's palace. In the evening she would go there, and in the morning return to another part of the harem to the care of Shashagus, the king's eunuch who was in charge of the concubines. She would not return to the king unless he was pleased with her and summoned her by name. I feel like that's important to note. Not that it's not all important to note, being like all these women were rounded up. They're placed in this harem. They're given like spa treatment for a year. And then they get like one night with the king to kind of prove themselves. And they're either like discarded for the rest of their life as a concubine unless they're specifically summoned by name. Or they're made the queen. As a woman, I find that a little like scary. Like, you know, you could be like completely discarded for life to live in this harem with all the other women. Unless you specifically are remembered by name. I mean, how many people's names do you remember? Meeting them one time. I personally am terrible with names. So, I don't know. Moving on. When the turn came for Esther, the young woman Mordecai had adopted, the daughter of his uncle Abihail, to go to the king, she asked for nothing other than what Haggai, the king's eunuch who was in charge of the harem, suggested. And Esther won the favor of everyone who saw her. She was taken to King Xerxes in the royal residence in the 10th month of the month of Tebeth in the 7th year of his reign. Now, the king was attracted to Esther more than any of the other women, and she won his favor and approval more than any of the other virgins. Apparently I can't say virgin today. Any of the other virgins. So he set a royal crown on her head and made her queen instead of Vashti. And the king gave her a great banquet, Esther's banquet, for all of his nobles and officials. He proclaimed a holiday throughout the province and distributed gifts with the royal liberties. Mordecai uncovers a conspiracy. When the virgins were assembled a second time, Mordecai was sitting at the king's gate. But Esther had kept secret her family background and nationality, just as Mordecai had told her to do. For she continued to follow Mordecai's instructions, as she had done when he was bringing her up. During the time Mordecai was sitting at the king's gate, Bigthana and Tresh, two of the king's officers who guarded the doorway, became angry and conspired to assassinate King Xerxes. But Mordecai found out about the plot and told Queen Esther, who in turn reported it to the king, giving credit to Mordecai. And when the report was investigated and found to be true, the two officials were impaled on poles. This is all recorded in the book of the annals in the presence of the king. All right, so that was episode 2 of me reading the Bible to you guys on my channel, where we will do education on the Bible. Starting with just reading it, then getting into some learning about it, and some further deeper learning about it, and the occasional travel stuff, probably like a few times a year when I'm actually traveling. This will probably be one of them. After I get home, I will put some stuff up about this resort. It's been a ton of fun here. This is my first solo travel. I've never gone out of the country by myself before. So I'll put up some stuff about that. So make sure you hit subscribe and like, and hit all the buttons to get updates and stuff, so you can keep getting the rest of Esther. And hopefully you like my little travel tidbits too. I love travel. Makes me happy. And hopefully I get less awkward in front of this camera. All right.